Jay Harwood's special edition of Amazing Conversations with Mr. John Maine. John, I'll never going to forget who we traded for you in January 2006. For the Orioles, we got two players for you. And one of them, we traded two players. One of them was Chris Benson. Why is that important to me? Do you know?
I mean, I don't want to say. I think only because
Let me make it easy for you. So Anna Benson, Chris's wife,
Anna Benson,
gave me a dog named
yeah.
Tiki, who I had for 15 years. So one day in the press box, they come over to me and Chris says, Anna wants to give you a gift. And all of a sudden, his dog starts barking. And so I'll never forget who we traded for to get John Maine. You know what, John, doing some research, you were a pretty good pitcher. I mean, in an era where we had Glavine, Pedro, El Duque, Santana, you averaged about 10 wins a year from 06 to 2010. We got hurt the last 2 years. But, 39, 32, 15-game season, 10-game season. People forgot how good you were.
Well, the new wave's coming up. You know what I mean? Younger people. I'm one of those guys that was, average playing. Tried my best, but I gave them my all. If I didn't get hurt, who knows what would have happened? But I did. I mean, that's sports. I mean, that's life. But I appreciate it. But I'm kind of I'm now fading off into I
think you deserve to be the forefront, Johnny. You picked some really, really memorable games. Let me just start with 2006. You get called up that year. It's a rain delay. We're playing Houston. El Duque was supposed to start. It really basically says, we don't want to get El Duque hurt, but let's put John Maine out there in the rain. And what do you do?
So I remember that. So whether getting hurt or not, I thought El Duque came in and I thought that he was sick.
Whatever it was.
Whatever it was, but we had an off day, so it was technically my fifth day, and then they're like, "Can you start?" I'm like, "I don't care. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go."
So what'd you do that day, John?
I think that was my first complete game.
Complete game
right?
shutout.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My only one.
And then shortly after that, Willie puts you in the rotation. So in the course of 2006, 26 inning scoreless streak, most by surpassing Dwight as a rookie, and you just kept going and going. 6-5. People got to remember those 3 years: 06, 07, and 08. In 06, the Mets win 97 games, win a division. In 08, they win 88 games, and the next year 89 games. You were pitching some pretty good ball teams those 3 years.
Yeah, and we were a good team, and I guess unfortunately, kind of people might remember 2007, and then with just but it was injuries. It was didn't make it 2007, 2008, more so with injuries for a lot of people. But like I said, that's kind of sports. It happens.
Win the opening round of the playoffs. So let me backtrack. So in September of 06, before the first playoff game with the Cardinals, with the Dodgers rather, I was working with Willie in the outfields, and he said, and Pedro was hurt at this time. Well, Duke's hurt; he can't start. What are we going to do? Let's start Maine. 4 third solid innings, you get a win to start the series over against the Dodgers. How big of a thrill was that, John?
Well, I think because I remember saying I was just glad that I was on the postseason roster. I didn't take anything for granted. I cherished it all. They asked me to start. I was like, well, of course I will. I'm not going to back down from it. No, win or lose. Worst case scenario is what? You're going to lose. So, you know what I mean? So I was just happy to be part of it.
But and a step further, we're down 3-2 against the Cardinals in the league championship series. You're facing Chris Carpenter, just won a Cy Young the year before. You pitch 5 shutout innings, get us to Game 7. 2.8 ERA in the 2 games you pitch. Tough competition. Shea was rocking that year. What do you remember about those 2 series?
I just remember being a part of playoffs in New York City. it's memorable. That was my best memories. Was in the playoffs that year. But I guess just being blessed to be able to be a part of it, to be there, to help the Mets out and do what I can. I was just felt very fortunate and very blessed for it.
So unfortunately, there's a downside to that series with the Cardinals. Um,
Lost.
we lost. Yadi Molina hits a 2-run home in the ninth inning. But what did you think? I remember when Andy Chavez made the catch, goes over the wall to bring the ball back. I would have bet my meager life salary we would have win that series, but we didn't win.
So I've never been a part. That was probably the most exciting play that I've been a part of, was when Andy made that catch. And I agree with you. Like, that momentum carrying over, I was like, there's no way that we're going to lose this game. But credit to the Cardinals. I mean, they came out and they,
Thank God
they
Molina
great.
finally retired. But and we had some opportunities to win. I think we had the bases loaded and one out,
Yep.
and the night, even in the ninth inning, we had first and second and nobody out. We didn't score. And to this day, kid Cliff Floyd, Cliff, you should have bunted. Well, first and second he bunted,
Right.
and but he did. But those were again the situation is a rookie thrust into the middle of a pennant race, pitching big games, big series. And people forgot. Again, until in your 8-year career, 46 and third, and 46 wins, almost 10 wins a year, and we had some great pitchers then. But you were probably the most steadiest pitcher on the ball during that time period.
Well, thank you. And my goal was I was never going to Cy Young. I was never going to be in the Hall of Fame. I just wanted my goal, when I pitched, just to give the team the chance every single time. If we scored 10, I just want to give up 9. If we score 2, give up 1. And that's the only thing, is just to just stay competitive every game, to not be out of any game. And that was just my goal. That was it.
So next year's even a better year, John. In 07, 15 and 10. I think he had 10 wins at the All-Star break. Should have been on the All-Star team.
Well, that was it. Yeah,
Lousy PR guy, John. Lousy PR
no.
guy.
So you gotta understand, though, at that time, there was how many All-Stars were on that team, and there was much bigger names than me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was 7 or 8 or something like that. So I don't, that stuff I never cared about it. It never bothered me. I did not care. So
He started
yeah.
off great. 4-0 in April. Pitcher of the month against the Miami. Had a no hitter through 6 innings. I think Cabrera broke it up in the 7th, and you just kept going and going and going. And then we go to September 29th, 2007. This is before Santana, no hitter. Mets had never had a no hitter. You go into the to the 8th inning, and a fella named Paul Hoover I never heard of before until then
Oh, against the
gets a
the
single
Marlins.
off you.
Yeah.
14 strikeouts, 1 hit.
Yeah.
Pretty
It's all
good.
right. We won the game, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's fine. We won the game.
We won the game, and we were pitching, keep our playoff hopes alive, and the next day, unfortunately, Miami got 7 runs in the first inning, and that wasn't a
Yeah.
good thing,
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
But John, looking back, how did you think what do you attribute your success to in New York? The way you pitched, your style of pitching?
I gave him my all, and at the end of the day, if I won or lost, great. I was there to help the team. It wasn't about me. I love New York. I did not really mind, people say that some people can't play in New York because they get offended by comments. I didn't. That stuff did not bother me. As part of the job, just went out there, did my best, win or lose, and that's what happens. You're gonna win, you're gonna lose some. As long as you give it your all, that's the only thing you can do.
So you retired in 13, right? Was your last year?
Officially now, I don't know if you have to put papers in, never, so I can maybe come back, but I can't throw anymore.
What are you, 41, 42 now?
42.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it too late to come back? You know,
I can't throw anymore. I had those 2 shoulder surgeries, and it's just I can underhand it. I mean, maybe that'll work.
what did you, I mean, tell us the fans, what did you do after you got out of the game? I knew you went back to coaching a little bit at your alma mater.
Yeah, so I coached a year at Charlotte. Played ball there, and after that, then I opened up a baseball facility in Charlotte, and then did that for 6-7 years, and then um, did well. We got a lot of kids into college, but I guess in a nutshell, COVID happened. We were a gym. All that kind of stuff happened. My wife, we just moved back to her hometown in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and then nothing since. So I want to start back up again. That's the only thing I felt that I could reach the kids, and I love helping kids. I think that I was good connecting with them with baseball. It's just up here, there's not the amenities like there are down in Charlotte. So I want to start something back up again, and help kids.
I know you have 3 young daughters now, right, John?
Yep, 12, 10, and
You
6.
do you do a lot of coaching and stuff, or
I do coach. Yes, I do basketball. Know nothing about it. I do coach. Help with their softball, things like that. I don't push them as probably as much as I should, but yeah, they're all in it. My oldest one does volleyball. She loves it. My middle one is more of a basketball, softball person, and then my youngest one, trying to get into t-ball, and basketball, things
do
like
you
that. So
yell, or you're not a yeller?
I don't yell. I don't yell. My voice never really gets above like this. I don't yell. Mistakes happen. I don't yell. I as long as somebody as long as somebody hustles, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't yell for errors or anything. You know what I mean? I don't yell.
One thing when we spoke last week, I made a promise to you. You want to come to city and bring your daughters to a game next year, and we're gonna
They
make
would
that
love it.
happen.
Yes, they would love it.
To bring 'em. Do they know? Are they old enough to know how well you did when you were here, John, or not really?
No, no, they just know that I played, but they don't get it. They don't get it. And I never talk about it. Like I've never been like that. I don't say anything. They just know that I played, but I think it'd be cool for them to go to the stadium, where I played, and then have them see like, yeah, hey, I played here, in New York City, stuff like that. I think it might hit home a little bit more with him, but no, I mean they have no clue.
I mean, tell the people, like, what was it like when we had all those good teams? And I mean, it was 6, 7, and 8. How great was it? Shea was rocking all the time. It was crowded and fans were loud. It was a good place to pitch, right?
Yeah, nothing like it. I mean, it was awesome. And again, the um, New York City fans, like I can't. I mean, it's different than Philly fans. Phillies, they'll bill you in a heartbeat. But I think New York, at least, they kind of understand what's going on. Um, it's the best place to play, good or bad. I mean, they're behind you. They want you to win, obviously, but good or bad, they're behind you.
But I tell you what, looking back again, going back to the playoffs, I mean, for a young guy to step up, and we had all those really great pitchers, and you pitched 2 really big games in big situations, and I mean, that's something to remember your career by. I know you don't want to take credit for it, but to come in that spot, and the team, we were, I just feel bad for Beltran. That last strike. I mean, unfortunately, some fans make that his Mets career. We took the
It,
third strike, and that's really not fair to him.
it's not. It was a good curveball. I remember that. I mean, right? It was a curveball, and I mean, you can't define one season, one loss by one pitch or one player or anything like that. That's not how it works. And yeah,
He's, I mean, if you look at his 70-year career at the Mets, probably the best player contract. His home runs, RBIs. He's on the,
right.
was on the All-Star ballot this year. Is David Wright. I
Yeah.
mean, David, his career is shut by injuries. What was it like playing behind Beltran, Delgado, Wright, Reyes? What was it like playing behind those guys?
I think that's also why too I won, a couple games here and there is because it was easy. I mean, when you have guys like that behind you, I mean, it's in, um, I guess anybody in the big leagues, is good, but when you have that kind of talent behind you and you're playing, it makes it easier, gives a little bit more confidence. Where if I made a mistake, those guys can, you know, they can, yeah, they'll clean it up for you, type of thing.
Joe, what do you remember about your first home run at Shea Stadium?
Um, I so I just remember the only thing I can say I remember I was 0 for my first 26. Um, because I didn't hit in college, didn't hit with Baltimore. I was terrible, but then I hit it, and I don't know. I mean, they were shocked, but I was like, you know what? Long time coming. I was, I thought it was gonna be a pop fly to left field, but I kept circling. I mean, I mean, other than just I thought it was gonna be an out, but it wasn't. I saw umpire signaling home run, so I just kept running.
Do you ever get back to New York at all before, or not really?
We come back a couple times. We've come back a couple times in Christmas time, which is maybe the worst time to kind of come to New York. But just being so busy with the girls, with their sports and things like that, it's tough to kind of get away for a weekend. But we have to make time for it because I do want the girls. New York is my favorite city, and it's my wife's favorite city. And we just got to, now that the girls are older, kind of understand we got to get back there.
You know,
So
you could do. I think one thing when they get back, they're going to see how good a pitcher their dad was. And for me, I've been with the Mets 40 plus years, and your
yeah,
career is probably the most underappreciated pitching career we've had with the Mets. I mean, look what you've done in pitching in big spots and big games, and with the no hitter, almost a no hitter before Johan did. It's something to be proud of, John. What you did here.
well, I appreciate that. Thank you. But I like being on the radar. You know what I mean? I like being in the background. I'm fine. Like I said, I was there. I was blessed to be there. Um, I had a great time. Everyone with the coaches, front office, all of y'all were great. So, I had a great time there, and I'm just, I'm like I said, thankful that I was a part of
I
it.
would remember too, John. You never dodge anything. In the good times, the bad times, you were always by your locker, and you never ran away from the media, and always faced the music. You know,
Well, I mean, and you should. I mean, if I gave up 18 runs in a game, that's my fault,
yeah.
and I got to answer for it. You know what I mean? It's like I said, you win some, you lose some. But you just go out there and try to do your best, and that's the only thing that I try to do is give 100%.
So you promise me when you look at our schedule when it comes out, you give me a call, and we'll show the family a good time, take some pictures, and meet some different people. And you let your girls see what kind of a pitcher their father was. Promise me you can give me
No,
a
I
call.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. We'll do.
John, I appreciate your time, man.